Fabien Cimbaroria.
And where do you work?
I work for Macan Radovic company, which supplies the truck surfers in Luxembourg.
And you've been here for several judgment days.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's my third one. Yeah.
Yeah, a third one.
Yep.
And are you happy to be a sponsor of
Yes, definitely. It's a good event, and it's a nice event, and it's amazing to see all those people evolving new environment, and I like it very much.
And are you looking for interns here by any chance?
Sometimes yes. It's not the first purpose, the first aim, but I must say that if we can have the opportunity to meet nice people, good people, yes.
And I see you brought one of your new colleagues.
Yes,
Why
exactly.
don't you bring him on over and we'll introduce him as well.
All right. I mean, no.
Alors, Amine, c'est la première fois ici pour vous.
Oui, c'est bon.
Est-ce que vous avez discuté ça avec Fabienne et Colin avant?
Justement, en fait, j'ai discuté avec lui de tout ce qui était projet, etc. Et il a su que c'était ma passion en fait de tout ça, et il m'a invité à venir voir jouer avec vous.
Amine, est-ce que vous êtes informaticien?
Je suis développeur informatique.
Vous pouvez voir beaucoup des idées ici.
Voilà. Et
Pour les applications mobiles.
pour les applications et pour tout ce qui est l'univers d'informatique et de la technologie, quoi, je pense.
Merci beaucoup. Dominic Dunlop. And Don, how long have you been working with this project, with the Bootcamp?
I've been with the Bootcamp since it started, which I think was 5 years ago, wasn't it?
Well, the first one was actually 7 years ago.
7? Oh.
I know, it's terrible.
Yes.
So you add that to your age.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Every one of these years is worse.
Yes.
So what did you think about the project?
Oh, I think it's a great idea. It's and it's been interesting to see how the hardware has come along in those 7 years, and consequently how the apps can be much better than they were at the start.
And do you think it's good for the students?
Yes, I know you have a hidden agenda that it also teaches English as
Yes,
well
of
as
course.
how to develop mobile applications.
The reason why I'm asking is, do you think it's too stressful for them at the beginning of the year?
I think yes, but they need stress because the course, it turns out, is stressful. I took it myself when I was over 50, and yes, it was stressful.
But afterwards, it creates a bond that
Yeah.
is unmatchable, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And just forcing people to communicate with each other in English is good too.
And can you tell us a little bit about how you help the students?
Yeah. Well, I'm a technician, so my job is to get all the equipment ready, make sure all the software is installed, fix problems when they arise, fix things that people break, just to keep everything running.
And you do that. And I have to tell you that it's really a lot of your work that made it such a success.
Thank
all
you.
these years. Without you, I think it would have been possible. So thank you very, very much.
Okay, thank you.
Hello,
What is your name?
my name is Christian Glot.
What do you do with the bootcamp?
So I am the lab tech for the bootcamp. So that means I am an engineer that assists the students in all technical questions regarding software environment and software development.
And what did they do this time?
So the students this time were developing an application for the Android operating system, and the students came up with an idea for an application themselves, and then they designed it, and in the end they implemented or tried to implement it.
Do you think it's good for teamwork with them?
Oh yes, I think it's very good, especially students that are new to the campus, who don't know anyone. For them it's very good to be able to get to know a few people who are in the same situation, probably, and to make some friends.
following up on that question, did you see any of them bloom? I saw some come in and they were very, very shy.
Yes, I noticed the same thing. So some of the students, they really opened up. I think it's good.
Are you looking forward to seeing the apps today?
Oh yes.
Hi guys, this is T-Buzz, that's T-B-U-Z-Z. And they're going to tell you about this. Colin, why don't you give an overview of what the app is?
So, hello everyone, I'm François Lange. Our idea about T-Buzz application was to have an application that allow you, for example, as a tourist, to walk around the city and be notified when you pass next to a location that could potentially interest you. So, point of interest. So basically, it's really simple. Like you walk around the city, and you receive notification with a map that show you that you are close to a point that could interest you. These points of the application will decide if the location it potentially interests you by a list. So, for example, you will select if you're more interested in museum, restaurant, shopping place, and so the application will choose based on that and your location if you should be notified of the presence of this point of interest. Yeah.
Francois, can you tell me how you're notified? I understood that you were going to have this as the Where API.
Yeah. So the first idea that came was to have to use a smartwatch for this notification. Of course, the smartwatch market is not so spread right now. So we think after to have the application be able to work on standalone on just a phone, and to have the possibility to send the notification also to the smartwatch. So the notification will consist of a map that display your position and the position of the point of interest, which is supposed to be really close in location. So yes, and several information about the point of location, like for example, opening hours for a shopping for a shop or for a museum, the name of the location and such.
Okay, and I understand that you have actually programmed this, coded and running on your
We have some basic function like we can show here.
Yes,
Kelly
please.
can show. So yeah.
Just at the beginning, it was just like somewhere in nowhere, so I can get at least an update when I activate the location. The moment actually it gets the location, it will update the map as well. And when we're close to a point of interest, we're like here at the university campus, for example, there's a point of interest. If we're close, like in this way, it's currently being shown. Notification here on top will show what point of interest it is. And it will also like later on vibrate or the sound depending on which functions. Sound vibration, and of course if you have the wearable, it will send a message to the wearable which will notify. So you don't have actually to take the phone out to look at the photos. That was actually the main idea. This is just a basic prototype, which is already working. As we're not really moving much, you won't see much difference, but if I would actually move out, the information would disappear. And if I move into another point of interest, always I get the information close. Yeah, that's kind of the prototype for now. We just don't get it. We just have to know what to do something that works already. Any kind of point of interest, to the dummy point of interest, go there, but they don't want the intention was to get the list of point of interest from Google if possible. So we don't have to implement them all ourselves.
Okay, and this year we switched from using Eclipse as the IDE, the developer's environment. And how did you find Android Studio? Was it similar to Eclipse? Was it complex?
Well, it's a different idea, of course. It's a little bit of getting used to where the option is about settings are shortcuts, but you can actually change the shortcuts and have the same as on Eclipse. So if you're used to Eclipse, you can still work on the same button functionality as Eclipse, but I think it's like more. It concentrates more on Android developing than Eclipse. You can do C developing on Java and whatever you want. It can be huge if you want. It can be bloated, so to say.
Eclipse does everything.
But so far I've been using IntelliJ before, and Android Studio is based on IntelliJ. And I did like that, so I got to Android Studio pretty fast. It didn't take much time. And yeah, I would say the program, well, it passed the version 1, because when I was using it, it still in the beta. But it got quite nice. I like it. I had no problems till now. And developing and debugging is easy.
Ah, great.
Installing it is
That's
also
important for me. I need to know how to debug.
It's easy to debug, and it's also easy to install it. It helps you go through all the steps you have to do to actually get to run Android, either as an emulator or you can even, like I did, use the cable and I run the application directly on my phone to test it directly on the phone.
Would you suggest other students to do this kind of boot camp to come up to speed on something like a new IDE?
Well, I would really recommend people to do this because, first of all, you get to know other people, which is already nice. You speak English, you can develop your English skills. And what should I say? Yes, they can learn new stuff, like, for example, Android Studio, like you said. They can learn about it because probably they didn't know it. And yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of my experience about it.
Super.
I did like it. I would recommend it
Okay.
to anyone.
Can you invite your teammates over and introduce them?
Come over, François, Victor, and
François, we
Jan.
saw before.
Victor.
Yes.
And Victor. And well,
What?
Jan.
Yeah,
Jan, do you speak Russian?
I speak Russian. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Our sponsor is a bank that they speak mostly Russian.
Okay.
East-West.
You can just CC me with one mail, so I can make a contact with them, and we can arrange something.
I know your app is actually running, so I hope that you can do a demo for us. It looks like it's a larger screen, so that will be very helpful.
Exactly. The idea was that I'm going to explain what he is going to show. So
That's
during the same time, it's
we will do the demo and explain.
exactly because it's easier if you can see directly what we are doing.
Super.
To explain what.
Okay, well, why don't we just do that?
Okay.
Are you ready?
So hello,
Okay.
yeah, I'm going to present this one. This is Laura. Laura Hanches is my colleague. We developed an app which is called Color One, and basically the idea was that you have here the screen. That's just until now you can start the game or quit the game. So it's
Like a normal game.
yeah, and if you enter the game, what we do, you have a character, a colored character. Here it must be in blue, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah, it is in blue. What you are supposed to do is you move on paths that have your own color. So you just have the possibility to move on the blue path. So actually, if you move on a red path, for example, now, you will lose the game. And it is not much more than that. But so what you can do to arrive at another segment, if you want to move up, you have to tap in the space, in the white space between the bottom line and the next line. That's where you have the possibility to move to another line.
Okay, and you programmed all of this with Android Studio as
exactly,
well?
Exactly.
Okay, and how did you find Android Studio? Was it there a steep learning curve for it?
No, I found it easy, but I have experience in Eclipse, but I don't have experience with Android development in Eclipse. But what I found really good in Android Studio is that you have the emulator directly integrated into it, so you can see directly what you are doing, and it's really nice. You can see that it is optimized for Android development applications, and I kind of liked it, and I got used really quickly to it. It's not that hard. Also, if you know Eclipse, the layout is a little bit different, but basically it's the same. You have to search sometimes for finding where you find the different views, for example. But it's not that difficult, for me at least.
And Laurent, how did you find Bootcamp? Was it a stressful experience, or did you have a lot of fun?
I actually had a lot of fun. What I really liked was that we met directly the new people that we have in the master. It was very funny because usually it's at the beginning it's a bit hard to get in contact with everybody. Once we got in contact, we talked. It was straightforward and developing with other ideas coming from other country, other people, you could see the difference in reasoning, and that was also a really a special experience.
Were most of the students from Luxembourg, or were they from around the world?
In our group, they were from all of the world. Pedro, which is not here, comes from Brazil, and Roma, I think, from Ukraine.
Yes.
So, except us two, we are from Luxembourg. but-
Yes, okay. And you were the brave ones that came today and did it. And how long did it take you to do this?
The app or everything. The developing, so we came in the course, and developing the app, it's proof of concept, so it took us 3 hours to develop the basic program. And but it can still be the basic is here. The algorithm for creating the platforms, the segments, it's basic. It's really basic for the moment, and can really be expanded to have more bigger platforms, higher speed, obstacles. It's really just the bottom of the bit that we only touched. That we touched. So
Are you surprised that you were able to develop a game in such short time?
yes and no. I've actually had some experience with developing game, not with Android, but it was faster than expected. Actually, it was faster than expected, and from that point of view, yes, I'm surprised. But from the basic architecture and so on, I was not that surprised. It was something I already was acquainted with. I already knew. So.
And as far as what you did in Bootcamp, do you think it helped you with your writing, with speaking, with communicating with people from different countries?
Yes, I would say.
And Joe, how about you?
Yes, I think that it helped because first of all we had one guy in the group that doesn't speak a lot of English, so we had to find other methods to explain him what we are going to do. We showed him some pictures what we are going to program because he didn't understand quite at the beginning what we are going to do.
And also for getting ideas from him.
It was a different experience because we had to be spontaneous to find another way to explain him our app before we even started to program. So we draw some pictures and we explained what we will program. And also, because they were from different countries, it was, for me at least, was a great experience. And also we had one guy that is a little bit older than we are, and he had a lot more experience in some domains, and that was also quite interesting to see. For example, he knew already a lot in programming, and he knew a lot of different programming languages, and it was nice to hear what he actually does during his work time. And he actually works also full time, so.
Okay. Yes. The one student that you said that had problems with English, I think he was from Ukraine, right?
Yes.
And
he spoke Russian and
Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Ukrainian and Russian. Okay. And do you think he learned a lot or became comfortable, meeting people from Luxembourg?
To be honest, not really, because we tried to explain him at the beginning what we have to do, but the difference between what we know and what he knew was just too big to cover it in 1 week to explain him what we are doing. And he actually got lost already on the second day. It's also tough to do the project in 1 week and to explain other people what they have to do at the same time. Time was too short to do all that.
But with Pedro, you didn't have any problems with that.
No.
He was, seemed to be right there with you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your demonstration, and I'd like to open it up to any judges that want to come take a look and play the game and see what you think. Okay, I'd like to introduce Pierre Kelson, who's the director of the program, and Pierre, this is our 7th Judgment Day, and 7 days for a week, and all this sort of it's a Kabbalistic number. How do you see the way that Bootcamp has affected students?
I think in many positive ways. I mean, if we do actually do systematic evaluations now, and then we get feedback from the students, and they all say that it's really an enriching experience, and I think it breaks down the the barrier of the unknown when you come to this university from another country, for instance, and really makes it much easier to integrate into the local fabric of student life, and also into the makes this task of doing a master degree less scary, because you see it actually can be fun. But working in computer science, so in the sense you do some work during the boot camp, but it's actually fun. So that's also one of the messages we want to tell them. Work and fun are not mutually exclusive.
Right. And the pizza's still coming.
And the pizza is still coming.
Okay. Also, before boot camp, I noticed that in orientation, the Chinese students would sit in one corner and the African students would be in another corner, and now they mix. It's not the same at all.
Yeah, I think it's also important because we have one time I did the statistics. We had 57 students from 55 countries. So actually, it's quite amazing. So actually, they came from many different backgrounds, from many different cultures, which makes it even more important to kind of do something nice together, and then just start the interaction between the students, and then they find out actually that they have the same interests. They have the same, maybe sometimes also different ways to think about the problem, and they complement each other. So it's very nice to bridge these different cultures.
Okay, now I understand that the university is going to be moving.
Yes.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll be able to continue doing this at the new campus.
Yes, sure. Of course, this moving thing is in 2 years we move.
In 2 years?
Yeah, and then in 2009 it was in 2 years.
Yeah. Yes, right.
2010
Exactly.
it was in 2 years. So every year it was in 2 years.
Right.
And I think now it's actually with some real probability that we in 2017 sometime it will be on the Belvoir campus.
Okay.
And, because now we have to see with the infrastructure, how we can. Yes, but of course, I want to continue doing this, so offering this to the students.
I wanted to get you on tape saying that it's going to be next year. But
no, next year is unlikely. I mean, it's, well, I never know, of course.
Okay.